Coming up, the top 15 most anticipated international non-fiction history books of 2026, Part 1. Namaste friends, my name is Shinil Subramanian Payamal and you are listening to Histology Podcast. I have searched the interwebs to find the most eagerly awaited international non-fiction history book titles. Since the list is too long, please consider this as Part 1. I will come up with subsequent parts in the near future. The books have not been ranked in any particular order and have been listed as per their respective release dates. First, Glorious Failure, The Forgotten History of French Imperialism in India by Robert Ivermee. Exploring the myth of a benign French presence on the Indian subcontinent, Robert Ivermee's extensive research reveals how France's Indian Empire relied on war-making, conquest, opportunistic alliances, regime change and slavery to pursue its ambitions. From great power rivalry to informal empire and entrenched inequalities, Glorious Failure tackles topics that remain vital and urgent in today's world. This book was published on 9th January. Second, Getting to Reparations, How Building a Different America Requires a Reckoning with Our Past by Dorothy A. Brown. A bold manifesto arguing that there is a clear precedent for paying reparations to atone for America's original slain of slavery, offering a compelling legal strategy to achieve this goal from the acclaimed author of The Whiteness of Wealth, built on the frameworks used throughout US history by the government to pay restitution. Brown argues that it is now time to do the same for America's black population. This book was published on 20th January. Third, Neptune's Fortune, The Billion-Dollar Shipwreck and the Ghost of the Spanish Empire by Julian Sancton. A billion-dollar shipwreck, a determined treasure hunter, a vast ocean floor. From the author of Madhouse at the End of the Earth, gripping true historical adventure and the thrilling quest to recover one of the Spanish Empire's lost treasures. Expected publication date is 27 January. Fourth, The Chosen and the Damned, Native Americans and the Making of Race in the United States by David J. Silverman. In this thought-provoking work of non-fiction, historian David J. Silverman examines the way white supremacy in the United States racial history has affected Native Americans. Expected publication date is 10th February. Fifth, The Blood Countess, Murder, Betrayal and the Making of a Monster by Shelley Puhak. From the author of the national bestseller The Dark Queens, an incandescent work of true crime and feminist history about the woman alleged to be the world's most prolific female serial killer. Expected publication date is 17th February. Sixth, I Told You So, Scientists Who Were Ridiculed, Exiled and Imprisoned for Being Right by Matt Kaplan. An energetic and impassioned work of populist science about scientists who have had to fight for the revolutionary ideas to be accepted, from Darwin to Pasteur to modern-day Nobel Prize winners. Expected publication date is 24th February. 7. London Falling, A Mysterious Death in a Gilded City and a Family's Search for Truth by Patrick Radden Keefe. From the best-selling prize-winning author of Say Nothing and Empire of Pain, a spellbinding account of a family devastated by the sudden death of their 19-year-old son, only to discover that he had created a secret life which drew him into the dangerous criminal underworld that lies beneath London's glittering surface. Expected publication date is 7th April. 8. Rasputin, The Downfall of the Romanovs by Antony Beevor. In this extraordinary new work, Antony Beevor, master of narrative history on the grandest scale, sharpens his focus to pierce the fog of fantasy that has only grown denser over time. The result is an unparalleled portrait of one of history's most dubious masterminds. Expected publication date is 14th April. 9th, The Lost Cities of El Norte, Coronado's Quest, The Unconquered West and the Birth of American Indian Resistance by Peter Stark. Peter Stark pens a gripping look at the 1540 expedition across the unmapped North America, where thousands of men joined conquistador Francisco Coronado in an effort to conquer El Norte Misterioso. Expected publication date is 14th April. 10th, Dwelling on Earth, The Past and Future of the Places We Call Home by Stephen Ull. A sweeping history of humanity's most fundamental creation, the home, and its effect on land, cities and people themselves. From tiny pit houses in the Levant and Mesoamerica thousands of years ago to soaring skyscrapers in Dubai, New York and Shanghai today, Dwelling on Earth takes readers on a swift and absorbing tour of the illusion of human habitation. Expected publication date is 14th April. 11th, American Patriarch, The Life of George Washington by H.W. Brands. A Pulitzer Prize finalist paints a portrait of George Washington in this engrossing biography of the first President of the United States. American history buffs should pick this up ahead of the 250th anniversary of American independence. Expected publication date is 12th May. 12th. The American School of Spies, the archaeologist who fought the Nazis and saved the treasures of ancient Greece by Stephen Talty. New York Times best-selling author Stephen Talty details an engrossing true story of courage, espionage and resistance in this book that Christian Quinn calls a cloak and dagger World War II tale that reads like an Indiana Jones saga, but the story is painfully real. Expected publication date is 9th June. 13. Lightning Beneath the Sea, The Race to Wire the World and the Dawn of the Information Age by James M. Tabor. The thrilling story of the 19th century's moonshot, an Atlantic spanning telegraph cable that created the global village and changed the world. From acclaimed author James M. Tabor, Lightning Beneath the Sea is the gripping account of an epochal achievement. Expected publication date is 9th June. 14th. The University, A History in Stone, Silk and Blood by William White. A sweeping history of the buildings and materials that have shaped 9 centuries of university life, from parchments and silk robes to glass atriums and sprawling parking lots. Expected publication date is 11th August. 15th. Prophets, Coaches and Kings. When Do Leaders Make a Difference? By Jared Diamond. This book is a thought-provoking assessment of when leaders can bring about effective change, when they don't, and perhaps whether we need them at all. Expected publication date is 17th September. Thank you for listening to this special episode of the Histology Podcast. Hope you found it interesting and useful. Please don't forget to subscribe to the Histology Podcast on your favorite podcasting app, and also check history.com or for book reviews and interesting tidbits from the pages of history. Looking forward to hearing from you. Have a great day and take care. Bye.